Yeah, Ellie.
Have you ever wondered how certain organisms came to be? Today we will be taking a closer look at the growth and development of animals. Take the egg, for example. In order to lay a fertilized egg, a hen and a rooster must mate. The egg is formed and it takes about 25 hours. It all starts with the formation of the egg yolk. This is produced during the ovulation of the hen. The embryo passes through the ovary of the hen. It is covered in a white membrane and other layers that will soon become the shell. The hen will then lay the egg, usually about 12 at a time. After the hen has laid her eggs, it takes about 21 days for the egg to hatch. After the eggs have hatched, the chicks are placed into a brooder, which has a heating lamp inside.
The chick will begin to develop their feathers by day 5, and by day 12 will show its wing feathers. Finally, by day 30, the chick will develop the characteristics that will identify it with its breed. A chicken will continue to develop and learn common behaviors with the aid of their mother, and by 6 months, they will have developed all of the adult features and be considered a mature adult chicken.
Hello, and welcome to my hen house. Let me show you around. Did you know that younger hens are known as pullets and can lay eggs at the age of 18 weeks? Pretty interesting fact, to tell you the truth. Healthy hens will lay eggs until they're about 72 weeks old. And did you know that every chicken goes through a process called molting? This is just when they lose their feathers, and it usually occurs in the late summer or early fall. Now enough talking about chickens. Let me show you what I got. Come on! Hey, Farmer Ellie, come over here. We got a team here today talking to us about chickens, and I thought you might want to be in it. Certainly, because you know a lot about them.
One adaptation that chickens have are the sounds that they make. Roosters crow to claim their territory and also to attract mates. How can you tell that a chicken is getting older? Hens will have heavy eyes, wrinkled faces, larger booties, and lack of energy.
Hens will cluck to herd their chicks, and this helps them because they don't have to go round them up themselves, and it also allows them to keep their offspring near, therefore protecting their chicks from danger. Some important traits chickens have include their beak, comb and wattles, their tail, and their feathers. A chicken's beak allows them to fight other chickens and protect itself from attacks, as well as break through the food. The comb and wattles on a chicken are thought to cool down the chicken's blood to protect it from overheating. This allows the chicken to have homeostasis of their body temperature. Finally, a chicken's tail is used for balance while walking, and feathers provide insulation from extreme heat or bitter cold temperatures.
What's the difference between inside cats and outside cats?
So as you can see, these cats' environments are a little bit different than the ones inside. Because of this, they have a shorter lifespan. Typically, outdoor cats only live from 2 to 5 years, while indoor cats can live for up to 15. So you have a lot of different adaptations that they have made because of their environment. As you can see, they obviously have to struggle to survive. Another adaptation that the outdoor cats have that are different from indoor cats is their shedding. So outdoor cats shed in the spring because the sunshine in the spring is a lot more frequent and it stimulates shedding. However, indoor cats are constantly shedding because they always think it's spring because they are always under artificial light from inside.
We are going to be interviewing Chris Schiffer, who has a degree in wildlife and fishery science.
Hello?
Hello. Today we're going to be talking to you and asking you questions about biology-related concepts. Can you come out?
Welcome, children. Sure, I can come out. Let's have a seat.
Thank you.
Why is it important to study biology?
Well, just think about the meaning of what biology is, the study of living things. Are you living?
Yes.
Well, then it would be pretty silly that we wouldn't know what biology would be all about, would it? But we need to know everything that goes all around us. I mean, think about where we live, between the trees, the grass, the air that we breathe. If one of those things goes out of whack or doesn't behave in a way that we need it to do or what the intention was, it means a lot of bad things could happen to us.
Can you give an example of something that could go wrong and how bad things could happen to us?
Well, just think about the meaning of what biology is, the study of living things. Are you living? Well, then it would be pretty silly that we wouldn't know what biology would be all about, would it? But we need to know everything that goes all around us. I mean, think about where we live, between the trees, the grass, the air that we breathe. If one of those things goes out of whack or doesn't behave in a way that we need it to do or what the intention was, it means a lot of bad things could happen to us.
Can you give an example of something that could go wrong and how bad things could happen to us?
Think about all the different whether it be plagues, diseases of the world that sometimes can wipe out whole populations. If you remember in history, the bubonic plague, in terms of health issues, bacteria. There's different things with the environment. The chestnut tree, the American chestnut, very valuable resource for our early pioneers. And what happened? Bacteria, fungus came around and was brought over not native from here, and just wiped out a whole population that they're trying to actually reintroduce here in America with a strain that's resistant to the blight, and that we can actually have something here for future generations.
What has being in the biology field taught you?
It's taught me everything is connected. I mean, you always think, well, you know, here's an insect, or here's a plant that might not mean something to you, and you take one thing out of that equation and the balance is then gone. Many people plant azaleas, common landscape plant, in suburban America or even rural America around in your mulch beds. But you take an azalea, and what happens? It can actually get a bug that actually destroys the leaves and eventually kills the plant. But you plant that same azalea out in the woods surrounded by a bunch of native plants, and the azalea doesn't get that bug that causes the problems. Why? In the woods or a native habitat, all the other bugs that control the insect that kills the azalea keeps that insect under control. So the balance is there, and whenever you have the balance, that's why the whole push is on the native plants, native plantings around in suburbia. It benefits everyone.
Why do you think it is important to study the growth and development of all organisms?
I think it just goes back into, I mean, fully understanding biology is knowing from conception all the way to death in terms of how everything interacts. You need to understand everything about it, because if you only understand one part, you're never going to realize maybe some things that go wrong.
Can you give us an example of a response animals have to a stimulus?
Sure. This is a comical one, but one time, Isley, the dog that's right behind me, she saw a possum, the only marsupial in North America. So, do you know what a marsupial is? No. You don't know what a marsupial is. Children in the video, do you know what a marsupial is? It's when you have a underdeveloped baby essentially go into a pouch and develop into there.
Like
Australia has, such as like a kangaroo, but in North America, the possum is the only one. The common thing that you see squashed on the road so many times is actually the only thing in North America that has that. But the possum goes around, it's not very fast. What does it need as a defense mechanism that it developed? The idea of playing dead. Well, the possum was in the yard. Big 70-pound bird dog here behind me saw it, comes running over, grabs a hold of it, shakes it. The thing instantly plays dead. Lays down, goes limp, actually has a smell to it. The dog leaves it alone, goes away. If you stand there long enough and just watch it, you'll see also the thing come to, and it wanders on and goes about its daily business. Animals and insects and everything have developed reactions to some type of stimuli in the environment to survive. It's what nature does.
Can you briefly explain how something goes from an atom to an organism?
The atom begins to divide into cell form. Cells continue to multiply. Goes into tissues, to organs, to organ systems, and then actually some living creature or living being when you have it.
From your experience in the Environmental Protection Department, what environmental changes have you seen and how are they affecting humans?
The main things that I see are when we talk about the balance of nature, whenever that balance gets thrown off by something, whether it be man-made issues such as additional parking lots, paving over the development of farmland, where before you had water that would naturally go into the soils, be collected by wetland type species of plants that would help prevent flooding, that now it's paved over or it's concrete or that soil is no longer there. You have a lot of water runoff issues, and you have those issues. You have when invasive species are introduced, such as in the forestry department, the mile-a-minute weed. That is a vine that grows rampant in state forest land, in private forest land, and there's nothing naturally that can control it. And eventually what it does is it runs amok, it strangles out everything, and eventually kills all the trees, so you no longer have any marketable timber. So again, it's all about balance. If you don't have that, there's ramifications for that.
Well, thank you for your time.
I really appreciated it.
Throughout the video, we talked a lot about the growth and development of chickens and cats, and we wanted to compare that to how humans develop.
So in humans, once the egg and the sperm unite in the uterus, it takes about 9 months for the baby to fully develop. Rather with chickens, it takes about 25 hours until the egg is laid, and then it takes about 21 days for the whole chicken to develop. So it's like a pretty lengthy process for the humans rather than the chickens. It's a pretty quick process.
You can also see that humans develop a lot slower than chickens. If you get chickens, or if you've ever seen them like develop, you can see that they're full-grown chickens within a year. But humans, it takes around like 21 years for the brain to like fully develop, and so you can see that there's a big difference there.
Okay, I'm literally sweating. This is not good. I'm recording. Ellie, I'm scared. I'm gonna
Please come on.
get her shit.
Hello?
Hello. Today.
Hi, everybody.
Let's look at the characteristics.
Okay, ready?
Now on for some characteristics.
We are going to be interviewing Chris Schiffer, who has a degree in environmental science.
9 degrees in wildlife.
What am I saying?
Now on to some characteristics.
Guys, we can use that. That's something. Ellie, ew.
Why did you throw it?
The myth, the legend.